broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Ready, play? I meant to have some dollar bills.
All I can picture is Donald stepping out of his car. That scene's all I can picture. It's ruined for me.
It is all about the mean green. Hello, everybody. My name is Christy Olsen, and what's about the mean green, y'all? Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah.
I've got the fabulous co-host with me tonight. Guys, tell everybody who you are.
Hey guys, I'm Jessica Carroll, and the other blonde right here
with blonde ambition is AJ Rochester.
And hello, I'm Grant, here to discuss more. Get into it. Can't wait. Let's do it.
I know there's so much to talk about tonight because we actually had a double episode and a single episode. 2 big eliminations. Did that hit you with a surprise, guys?
I was surprised that they did 2 one-hour shows just back to back.
And it looks like we'll actually be seeing that a little bit more every week. What do you think?
I was a little disappointed, to be honest, because I feel like they're just burning off the show. They did a good job of keeping it off the schedule for so long. I mean, again, we said yesterday this was shot in March of 2014, so it's 2 months away of being, like, irrelevant. And now it's like, okay, let's burn it through real quick.
It went so quickly, yeah.
I was really looking forward to this season, so I'm kind of like, okay, it's going to be here for 6 weeks. Hi and bye.
But here's what happens in the editing bay. They look at it and they go, oh, this is a dog of a cast.
Yeah, it is.
Or a sick horse, let's put this horse down quickly and painlessly. And that is, I feel that they're kind of pulling the rope on that and just letting it die quickly.
But it was all right, though. We saw a lot of drama, and there were some shocking eliminations. What I was most surprised about is who were chosen as the project managers for the first task that we saw.
I was surprised by Kate, for sure. Kevin, I thought...
of course
commercial
he's gonna step up.
Technology, he's got this. Kate, I was very surprised. I think she might have stepped in a little too fast because she looked pretty nervous. But, overall, it's like I wanted to see more of the behind the scenes making the commercial.
Exactly.
But because it was just shut into 1 hour, it went by so fast.
It was so jumpy. The whole time that I was seeing this come together, it was like there was so many missing parts. I think we even commented that we missed something, but we really didn't. We'll never see it.
Right.
But
well, and I kind of feel that there's a lack of creativity. Oftentimes, there's many great minds, and what is always pleasantly surprising is to find someone that you'd packaged into one box be really creative and entertaining, but there just seems to be a lack of ideas in that fruition process. So they're kind of all sitting around going,
right.
What's interesting? So only one idea, so they kind of have to run with it.
And both commercials, and you can kind of tell that no one's really that creative because both commercials, desk, bunch of papers.
They were very
similar.
Yeah.
And same with the slogans on the second episode, like, clean. Like, clean, that word has been used so much. Like, figure out something new.
The girls' commercial was a straight ripoff of the Geico insurance commercials, where the burglars come in and mess everything up, and then the insurance adjuster comes and cleans everything up before the people even get home. Hello, we've seen it. It's been done.
I think the highlight for me out of both of the episodes in the one episode was Geraldo, who I'm coming to dislike immensely.
Oh, so much.
yeah.
Referring to himself in the third person.
And not
the
just in the
Geraldo.
third person, but the Geraldo.
The Geraldo.
It's just like the Donald. He's trying to fashion himself after Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
We didn't really I don't think that Geraldo could get any more obnoxious, but that took the cake.
No, I wanted him to go home. I wanted to, if he was acting like that, like if I was Kevin and he was acting like that to me, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done. Like, I actually probably would have been like, leave me alone.
Yeah, I kind of got on Kevin yesterday for not being respectful enough to Geraldo, but he kind of held back tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have really told Geraldo where to stick it.
He definitely, he uses patience with Geraldo. Definitely.
I think they all do. I think they all want to smack him.
It's his way or the highway. It's like he is only okay if they use his slogan, his way.
It's not like he's coming up with these visionary ideas either. He's not that brilliant of a guy. I mean, if we have to hear all about his history with his career, but I mean, okay, but on paper, what is he really delivering to these challenges?
Do you guys think Terrell should have reined him in a little bit more? Should have been a little harsher with him?
Yeah, but you can't. He throws tantrums like a 5-year-old. He's like, don't touch me. Don't talk to me this way. Don't butt in. Don't point at me. I mean, his list of demands. What is he, like the Beyonce of newsreaders?
Seriously. How many times did he mention about how good he was? This is our drinking game, so how many times did he take shots, guys?
He's done like 10,000 hours of voiceover work.
There would be no driving if you're playing that game
and he has
tonight.
the best voice in America.
Oh, yes, everybody knows
It's
his
not just the voice, it's the editing and production.
And Vivica was kissing his ass once again, saying, oh, you should have done it. Why does she want to earn so many points with him? Maybe it's her strategy, but...
I think it's their strategy. I mean, everyone says that he's going to be a tough one to beat.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously the Don really loves him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
He's
very,
not
very
going anywhere.
obvious that he's a pet of his.
But even if Donald continues to hear that Geraldo is being disruptive, he's going to call him out on that.
He was brought in the boardroom both episodes.
Mm-hmm. But he kept Omarosa around week after week after week after week, and everybody disliked her, particularly her last run. Oh my gosh. And people were just like, why are you keeping her? And we don't know what it is, but he likes people with great egos, and he doesn't like humility.
You know, to be the next, let's just say the next Trump or whatever, you need to have a big ego. You need to be very confident in yourself. So he does have those qualities, but he just takes it to like the extreme.
Right.
And it's too much, and it's pissing all the guys off, and definitely pissing me off. I don't know about you guys. Viewers, let us know. Are you Team Geraldo or not? Because...
Well, let me ask, is he pissing you off, or is he just making good TV?
He is making good TV, because look at, we're up here talking about him right now.
Almost getting to be too much
But it's
now.
too much.
It's excessive, yeah, definitely. And I was upset with the results of the first episode and just how Geraldo really just got by everybody. And definitely it's upsetting to see him. But he's bringing drama. He's bringing something to the men's team, because Terrell isn't doing anything. I didn't even think he even project managed that project at all. I didn't see him do a thing.
And without him, what would be going on? I mean, okay, we've got Kevin Jonas, which everybody loves, but I mean, well, yeah, but like it's kind of, when you look at everyone, most of the team are silent. Like the deadliest catch guy, Sig, nothing.
Nothing.
Damon, the guy, is it Damon?
Sig.
No, the other guy.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Damon. Like, doesn't speak a single word.
But
First of all, I'm pissed that Kevin went home. I was Team Kevin all the way. But you know what? I think Johnny is going to sneak up on us, and he's going to...
I think he's an under the radar kind of guy too. I noticed that.
Yeah, I think he's going to... He's just
somebody
hiding.
has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really. There's one thing about this cast is there's no young guy or young chick besides Kevin, really.
Total lack of hotties.
Brandy, while Brandy looks like she's this young blonde bombshell, and she is, but I mean, she's 40 as well. I mean, there's like,
Hey, don't throw the shade at the 40s.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, you know, I can't listen to whining, complaining that demos are bad when there's one guy that's on there that's catered to the younger demo.
Well, I did some Rain Man figures on the demo.
Speaking of,
Yeah, talk to us about this, AJ.
Okay,
The
so
CIA over here.
look at all this math. Look at the math.
Okay, so I'm the person, the beautiful mind, you know, like I believe in all the conspiracy theories, all of it. And just bear with me for a minute. So the ratings are up 38%.
Yes.
Now, if you work backward from the maths there, so Kevin has 4.3 million Twitter fans. So if you work out that last season was 4,900 million, and if it's up by 1.9 million, that's 38% to 6.8 million. Kevin has 4.3 million fans. If 40% of his fans, only 40% of the fans were following the show, that's 1.8 million. The exact number, almost, to like 100 grand that people followed the show. So I would imagine next week that the ratings will be down almost 2 million because Kevin left the show.
Okay, you lost me like 100 million numbers ago, but I 100% agree.
Saying is that the viewership for the premiere last night was up 35% from last season's premiere.
Yeah.
And that's what you're referring
And then
to.
exact same numbers, if only 40% of, and that's only 40% of his followers, you would imagine 80% of Kevin Jonas's followers were watching, which would make even more of the ratings. So let's see if the ratings are down 30-40% next week. But I think that's what's going to happen.
No, I 100% agree. I think the viewers are gonna go down.
That's for the maths nerds.
I think
by the
Kevin
way.
looked completely lost on that men's team. I know he's not like a young guy. Like I know he's not like a teenager. And I'm not asking for any kids on the panel, but it just was like him and then sitting next to Geraldo, and it was just. It didn't work for me. They needed somebody else in there that was more of an up and comer. I mean, everybody else had kind of peaked. You know, if you look at the men, I mean, they've all kind of peaked.
Maybe Kevin doesn't bring the audience that we think he does. You know, his reality show has not been brought back. It hasn't been officially canceled either, but it's been a couple of years since it's been on. So maybe he's not the draw that everyone thinks he is anymore.
I disagree. But I don't think he fought hard enough either. Like, he got into that boardroom and he kind of floundered a little, and I think there's a kid who's never had to really work hard at anything. I'm not saying he doesn't work hard to get his career, but a lot of it's come easy, you know, like he's a family of music and
Yes, man.
you know,
Exactly.
he had a lot of help along the way and he's been handed a lot of things. So I kind of feel like when he had to really fight for it versus Geraldo, who, you know, even referenced him fighting in the wars and surviving all these wars. You're a newsreader. You didn't fight the war. You didn't survive it. You went to your hotel and you went home.
He used the survival word. I heard him.
Oh, that's like Tom Cruise saying his movie making is harder than
that was
the
awful.
military. I'm
So
sorry.
do you think bringing back Ian into the boardroom was good or bad?
Oh, bad, obviously.
I saw
but-
his strategy, but they should have then gotten together and ganged up more on Geraldo then, and not let Trump
Manipulate.
Ian into the, well, do you really think you should have brought back? Then they should have had that strategy from the get-go. Kevin should have said to him, hey, let's do this and get him out of here. And they maybe could have succeeded.
I wouldn't bring back a friend into the boardroom because that friend could now go home because of you. And I would have never done that. But, you know, he had a strategy and
Donald didn't like it.
No.
He was very unhappy with it.
But I think that Donald specifically didn't like it because Trump wanted to have Lorenzo go home. And he kept
that was
saying
very clear.
Lorenzo should have been in there. He was an equal part of the reason why they lost if it came down to it. And like you mentioned, you know, Trump said that his words were that Kevin tried to outthink me. And no one does that to me.
And Lorenzo is definitely there to be discardable. And Trump is ready to discard him.
And Geraldo, not so much.
Yeah, and Kevin didn't cooperate.
Yeah.
Well, another player who really stood out to me tonight was Kate Goslin. She came across as so dumb, just unintelligent, just can't figure things out, can't make a decision. I'm like, how do you, and she doesn't really run a household with 8 kids because she has so much help. But how do you get through your life? You act like you're such this together woman, and she couldn't figure out the neat product.
She couldn't even finish her sentences,
no.
which as a mother
was-
isn't unusual.
she was more worried about feeding someone so they didn't die than she was about being project manager.
She whined last night or the previous episode and in this episode, the first part, that I've tried. It's like, that's really like the worst thing you can say in a competition on a reality show. You're trying. You're a project manager. Really?
Yeah, and don't
do
try
it.
to
Don't
feed the
try.
actresses.
Do it and hold your own and.
Yeah, and if she thought that was Brandi Glanville throwing a temper tantrum, or what did she say?
Oh, yeah.
She was being
Panic attack.
Panicky.
If
Panicky.
you think that is Brandi being panicky, girl, tune into some Real Housewives.
Yeah, she
Oh,
buckled.
and I loved it. Don't default to drama, Brandy.
But I thought Brandy's being really well behaved.
I think
She
so
is.
too.
She hasn't really read anyone for filth.
she's rebrandying.
Oh, I like that.
I have to just
brand.
bring out my little fashion side. Although I'm loving all the fashion. The girls' dresses, they look great. They look professional. I'm really liking
and
the
not like
dresses.
blah, boring boardroom stuff.
Right.
It's sparkly and bright colors.
Hey, business girls can rock their dresses.
I think Sean did roll out of bed and just put a jacket over
Okay,
her. Do you see her crinkled shirt?
Who?
Looks like
Which
she
one is
slept in
that?
it.
Yeah.
Because Sean and Jamie look the same, right? You just can't tell them
Right.
apart.
I can't. I don't know. They're both. They're pissing me off. These two women are
Okay,
pissing
there
me
are
off.
only two
gymnast.
girls that ever wear their hair back. Actually, Brandy had her hair in a ponytail, but they had like their hair in a bun and like a really bad ponytail.
Yeah.
So those
And they don't wear much makeup, and they don't really dress up, and they don't speak a lot.
and they don't show off their top titties.
Talk about
that
expendable.
mandatory?
And we all know what Donald Trump wants to see, and
girls.
it is some what she said.
Well, these two Olympians, or whoever they are, I mean, they could really go because they're talking about expendable. I mean, I can't even tell them apart. They're not going to win Olympians, or not. I don't mean to point out the Olympians themselves, but the athletes aren't going to do it. They're not going to win. They're going to burn out early. We've said this. Donald said it. It's a known fact. They don't win. So it's like, all right, let's move with these two because I don't know who they are and they're not contributing anything. And I learned way too much about one of them.
Oh, okay. The TMI moment.
Let's talk about that for one little second. There was no reason why Vivica could not have said Sean wasn't feeling well and then continue to tear her apart. You don't have to bring it up, girl.
We can refer to it, instead of saying the words, let's just call it like when Tom visited, right? Because it's the time of the month. The Tom. So we don't have to use the P word, the M word, or any of those words. Let's just talk about Tom visiting once a month.
Just say I'm not feeling good. Sorry.
Right. Then we don't have to make any monikers.
But I think that was Sean's fault. I think Sean should have just been, you know what, I just really don't feel well.
Yeah,
she didn't want anyone to talk about it, then she should have.
If she didn't want it to be brought up in the boardroom, then don't say it. Because especially a car full of girls, we all go through the exact same thing she's going through.
Although she's a gymnast, she probably hasn't had it until she was like 25 years old, right? Let's be real.
I don't know.
I mean, honestly,
they don't get there.
Oh, they don't. No. I don't know. Okay.
I mean, I might be mean to say this right now, but if I was... if I was the project manager and one of my girls was like, sorry, I'm not feeling very well because I'm on my period, I would have brought it up in the boardroom because that is no excuse. Every single girl goes through it.
Yeah.
Like, suck it up, girl. It's part of being a woman. I mean, that is just not an excuse. And I would have brought it up.
And we won't ask AJ to run any numbers on this, but there's 8 women there, so she can't be the only one who's not feeling
Well, the numbers
good.
are, we know we get it 12 times a year and for almost your entire life, so suck it up.
That was ridiculous.
I can't speak to it. I don't know. I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
Move on. Do you guys have, was there anything else that stood out to you about the first episode, the first elimination, the Neat project, and the commercials?
I think Vivica did a pretty good job acting.
Yeah, she was a standout.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
No,
She thinks she did too.
Yeah, she did. But I think that the girls' commercial, you know what? I thought the girls both deserved to win. I loved their slogan on the second episode, and I thought their commercial was clean. It was neat for their neat product. It explained it well. I thought overall the girls really did a good job.
Well, where they really excelled is they had the logo. And everything comes down to brand messaging with this.
Right.
You can't put it up enough. And I said this last season on the show. Like, when in doubt, just keep flashing the logo or keep showing the saying, the phrase or whatever it is that you've come up with. You can't do it enough because that's what these executives are looking for. They don't care if Geraldo's voice is in it or not. They just want to see the cloud, the neat cloud logo show up. And so they did it right. That was more on their side for sure.
And I think the other thing that was kind of annoying was Geraldo's neat, sweet thing that he was going on and on and on. But I think he did that purposely. I think he was
for sure.
determined to annoy Kevin to the point where he couldn't think.
He would have to crack, yeah.
But the only thing I thought was strange was that they didn't mention when the brand people came in and Geraldo's on his phone talking about some legal case. They never brought that up. If he'd have said when the brand people came in, he got up from the table, he was doing his phone calls. I think that Trump maybe would have had an issue with that because he's a businessman.
Right, and especially because it's their company. They came in to talk, explain the product, and one of the guys is just screaming on the phone behind him and just disrespecting them.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a professional businessman.
Well, and it just showed how important this was to Geraldo. You know, he wasn't the project manager this time, so he didn't really care about meeting them or giving a good example.
So his strategy is to just be a dick. Is that what it is?
It's starting to look that way.
Is that what it is?
I think it's to...
Or is he just a dick?
The Geraldo is a dick.
Yeah. Oh,
I think we can safely say that.
He is so annoying.
I mean, I would probably be more invested in him if he was a real visionary and he was the one that was carrying the team and had these amazing ideas. But nobody is. Not even on the women's side. I'm not seeing anyone that's really brilliant.
No.
There's usually always one.
Lisa was really good, and they all referenced that she was integral for like both of the campaigns. She did a lot of it. She kind of brainstormed it and
Talk
directed
about
it.
your recognizable voice. I mean, I don't know if I
Yeah.
could pick
yeah.
Geraldo out of a soundbite, but Lisa for sure.
And she's worked hard. I mean, she's supported 4 husbands, forgetting the new
fabulous.
1. 4 husbands, the 3 kids. She's a working woman. She's worked her whole life, and her work ethic is really showing. She's getting in and doing it.
And in both the boardrooms, she was mentioned as one of the star, women on the team. The first one, she took over. I mean, Kate needed her help big time.
Yeah.
And then the second one, they even said that Lisa was the best host for the meal presentation.
She's playing the cleanest game so far. We're
Yeah.
at the beginning, but it's safe to say so far it looks like she's playing the best game.
Trump
Right.
should just hire Lisa and be done with it.
Yeah.
NBC
Yeah.
apparently doesn't want to be
Get rid
airing
of
these
Geraldo.
episodes anyway. Yeah.
But at least, I think a lot of people who don't know Geraldo, and I'm an Aussie, so, to a certain degree, I mean, obviously we do, Google people. When I say I don't know him, I didn't really know his body of work or who he really was. I get that he's iconic in this country, but, it's I think people will know who he is now, at least, more.
Yeah.
Not that that's a good thing, maybe.
Well, I'd like to address one of our YouTube commentators while
Yes.
you're on that. That person thought that when we were speaking to the level of fame yesterday of the stars, we were saying, we don't really know who so-and-so is. That doesn't mean that we didn't do our research before we sat down to panel this show. That means that we were speaking to that we didn't know who they were right off the
Yeah.
bat.
But I still don't know who those
thank you
Olympians
for
are.
your lengthy, incorrect comment. But yeah.
I still don't know who those 2 chicks are, so I'll still stand in my own truth.
It's Grant. Call him out next time by name.
I'm going to stand in my own truth. And I don't know who those 2 girls are. Yeah.
Yeah, and just because I might Google and go, they're footballers, but, that's where my interest lives and dies.
Right.
They're footballers. I don't think they're going to be on the show for long. I'm
much
not
do we
into
really
sport
need
at
to
all,
know?
obviously. Look at me, I'm like 200 pounds. My sport is like chasing the ice cream truck and catching it before it leaves my street.
Oh, I love you.
We know you know how to work it out, girl. Don't even. Well, our second task saw them presenting frozen dinners. Is that?
Yeah, that's
Lord.
the healthy frozen
for,
dinners.
for Delta and the Luvo executives, and they had those super cute little stewardess outfits. How cute was that?
Oh, I missed the Delta thing.
Brandy
I'm like,
and
why
Lisa.
are they in these sexy little stewardess
Yeah.
outfits?
Brandy was
Apparently
great.
Delta serves the Luvo meals on their flights.
Oh, okay, that's
So
interesting.
that's what you're paying for, people. Frozen
Yeah.
dinner, you could get it.
It kind of looked nice, though. I have to say, it looked better than the Weight Watchers dinners
Those
and
do
the
look
lean
good.
cuisine.
I
the
really
freezer
like
case.
seeing Vivica with the mustache.
So good.
In drag.
Coach Fox.
In man drag. That was
I
so
really
cool.
liked
off.
that.
She seems she's so surprisingly up for anything.
Yeah.
You would almost maybe think that she's a little bit like, I don't have to do that, or don't give me that.
No,
And
she's
she'll
making a
do it. She'll
reel.
go
I'm
for
telling
it.
you,
I
she's
think
making a reel.
She's in it. She's in it.
The whole everyday person thing that they were trying to do was kind of lost on me because it was Kenya with some makeshift sash, and then Vivica as a man. It just kind of wasn't like people from all different walks. Like it just didn't translate to me. I knew what they were trying to do, but it didn't look good.
Right.
But it
Well,
was
apparently
safe.
The executives thought so.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it was much better than the men's. I mean, the men's was basically a very basic, stand up, reading off of cards. I thought it was poorly executed and was boring to watch, except for, of course, Gilbert.
So what would you have done? Like if you were Terrell, we don't really know how to pronounce his name. Terrell, they're saying
T.O. We could
Terrell.
say-
Terrell. I like that.
We could
Let's
say
just
T.O.
it.
That's what Bim
T.O.
started to call him.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys were T.O., how would you have dealt with Gilbert? Because he's like, I don't write this stuff down. I'm a comedian. I say it, whatever comes to my head, I say it.
They were clearly worried about exactly what happening. So why did he even let Gilbert go out there then? I thought it was hilarious, by the way. And if you didn't know that that's what he was going to say, come on. Of course
Exactly.
he's gonna go there.
That's who he is. That's his personality, and that's the way that he entertains people. Is the drastic.
Yeah, that's what he thinks he's supposed to do. He even said, if I got a laugh, then I was successful. No, that's not what this was about. But to a comedian, that's what he thinks his job is.
Yeah, but
So why did you send him out to do that then?
Yeah, but as a comedian, you have to know your audience.
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
true.
walk into a room full of vets and make jokes about the war. It's like,
Yeah.
you just don't do it. And that was a family-based, family-friendly company,
Right.
making jokes about, a woman having sex with him only twice, and wow, how
especially like eating and then talking about like having sex with Gilbert, like
and the woman
those two
having
don't go together.
such low self-esteem that she, you could see the female client just go, what?
Yeah, I thought he was going to tie that into like a weight thing. Like be like, oh, she has low self-esteem, so she'd do me, so maybe she should eat some Nuvo and then she could, get an eye in or something. I thought that's where he was going with it.
Well, here's the thing that I got from this. Basically, in the past, we've seen people like Gary Busey. They didn't want to put him front and center, so they would put him kind of behind the scenes. He would do something technical, or they'd give him work ahead of time. But Trump could easily say, hey, Gilbert's a very big name in this world, and he should be out there. You should have utilized him. So they could have gotten hit either way. But to answer your question, I would have probably given him more work ahead of time, given him something technical to do the day of, like have him do the heating up of the food or the arranging, and then just kind of use everybody else.
Yeah, and the reality is, you don't ever, if you're writing a play and it's going on Broadway, your actors don't say, well, I haven't, learnt the lines yet because, I'll see what happens. The director and the producer go, no, you learn your lines or the understudy takes your place. And that really is the project manager's job.
Yeah.
He
And
didn't
maybe
do
he should have gone.
I didn't see him do anything. I didn't see him delegate. I didn't see him do anything.
I think T.O. just should have laid down the line and said, listen, I want to practice this so that we can go out there and do it perfect. Like, I would really appreciate if you would just help us and participate and just say exactly what you're gonna say. He could have easily just said that, and I bet you Gilbert would have respected it. But he just didn't really, go front to front with him and make it clear that, like, write down your line, buddy. Like, that's what we're all doing. You're one of us. Do it.
Yeah.
We've seen so little of T.O. talking at all, and when he finally did tonight in the boardroom, he was surprisingly eloquent. And I've interviewed him several times, and I know that he is, but we've hardly seen him at all. And to hear him finally open his mouth and state a case and actually say something and make a point, I was like, great, thank you, finally, T.O. Speaking up.
I do feel that there's a few really big personalities that are missing in these shows. Previously what we've really loved on Apprentice is, the clash of the egos and the clash of creativity and eccentric characters. I mean, apart from Gilbert, Sig, Deadliest Catch guy, he is literally, and pardon the pun, no, don't pardon the pun, sitting there like a stunned mullet. I'm sorry, you're out of your depth. It really is. It's just, I think it's poor casting.
Oh, it is. It's just to say they have someone on from that show. That's all it is. And big deal.
Yeah. What did you guys think about Kenya just not even being present on the first episode? And then good thing the girls won, but like, what would have happened? Would she have been called back into the boardroom and then gone home? Like, what would have happened?
When that's happened before, and there has been several times where people have had a previous engagement that they said was previously cleared for them to leave. What's happened is that they've talked about it in the boardroom and said like, well, that person wasn't there. And then if no one else does anything worse than not showing up, then that person has had to take the responsibility for not being there.
And we all know behind the scenes that would have been negotiated in their contracts. So it would be almost impossible to be fired for that reason. And maybe that's why, those campaigns were very similar. Maybe that's why they made the men win. Because let's be real, okay? Reality TV is rarely real, and it's rarely really, really real. It's produced.
Yeah.
Things happen because they're convenient or they're good storylines. Doesn't mean that they're lies, but they're just the convenient truth.
It's the reality of a reality show.
Yeah. So when it comes to, the women and the men, and they both like them, well, let's just make it easy because then we're going to have to talk about her not being here.
Yeah.
So let's just make it the men. And we lost a woman, so there we go.
Right. I'm just excited for them to mix up. I don't like the women versus men because
so over
there's more personalities on one, and there's I just want it to be mixed.
Yeah.
And you would think that this group of women being together would be more explosive, and they certainly talked this season up like it was going to be very explosive between Brandy and Kenya and a lot. But all we saw tonight was one little tiff between Kenya and Jamie.
That's called wanting more gigs after this.
And that whole thing with Jamie, like, come on, blow it off. She mentioned your outfit, like, you're under pressure in the kitchen. You're trying to win this show. Blow it off, girl.
Yeah.
And Kenya did apologize, which, excuse
did.
me, that girl does not apologize for anything.
Yeah, that Jamie did. Whoever she is didn't know how lucky she was.
She has obviously not watched Real Housewives of Atlanta.
No, I was surprised by it too. I thought Kenya held herself really well, even in the boardroom.
Yeah.
She just stood there with a smile on her face. She's waiting. She knows she'll outlive the Olympian or whoever she is.
You are determined not to remember their names.
Is it Jamie? Sean was
Jamie
the
and
one
Sean.
that had the visitor.
Tom, when Tom
Okay,
came
yeah,
around.
Okay, and then Jamie, yeah, okay. Got it.
Jamie was the one that was doing the squats.
Jamie's a
Yeah.
snowboarder who, I think it was you said she sounded stoned, or somebody said she sounded
yes,
stoned.
I did. Yeah. Well,
She's a
was like,
snowboarder.
Let's all grab hands in a circle and
Yeah.
wait, kumbaya.
We so know she's smoking weed and then going down the ski fields. I mean,
That group of women,
seriously.
maybe that's how she's rolled by the last 3 tests already.
That's how you end up down a hill and not get injured.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'm not into green and weed or whatever you call it. Stank or. So I'm not advocating
you are,
it.
AJ.
No, when I first came to America, there were all these Craigslist things saying 420 friendly, and I was like, what's about 420 in the afternoon? Like, what? Am I missing something? So it's not an advertisement for 420.
Oh, we
didn't-
digress. We
I
digress.
didn't know that was an American thing.
It is. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
We're so off topic right now, but that's okay.
This poor girl maybe she never even smoked in her life.
I know. Yeah, allegedly.
Jamie, tweet us. Let us know.
Yeah.
What happens.
Yeah.
Well, who else stood out to you in the second task?
Well, obviously, they're obviously very exciting cast because we're all sitting here going,
The whole episode was a little bit
Yeah,
trippy
it's kinda-
for me, I think.
It seemed like a rush. It just seemed
Yes.
like we had like one segment and then it was like the presentation time.
Yeah.
Kate Gosselin went for shopping for 6.5 hours and so that she wasn't wasting a second. And they do that all the time on the show. They're always shopping for hours at a time. And I don't understand how they can match that with their time budget and with the traffic.
well, it's New York.
It's like, what are you doing? I mean, of course, I don't know what everybody else was doing because we didn't see it. All we did was see them pick out dishes.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they bought for 6 hours. We saw the flowers
And dishes.
The wood plates.
How long
which-
does that take? I mean,
But
seriously.
the men
I
didn't even
think-
do that. The
I
men,
think Kate
we
and
never saw that.
Sean, though, they're like buddying up because they keep complimenting each other in the boardroom, and there's a bug in her face.
Oh,
Okay.
well, speaking of drugs,
Yeah, but and even in the last episode with the pies, they were working together in the boardroom. They stood up for each other, so they're helping each other out.
you saying
secretly.
Kate and Sean?
Kate and Sean.
Yeah, well, Kate would take any friend. Anyway, 'cause I'm telling you right now, those girls are not talking to her. And did you see Lisa's face when they were talking about Tom? You could see Lisa. I'm sorry, I'm biased, yes, but she is Hollywood royalty. You don't
Yeah.
talk about Tom when Lisa Gibbon is in the room. You just don't. It's like the Queen. You don't put your arm around the Queen.
She's surrounded by Real Housewives, and she's like, these girls will literally take the smallest thing, like a period, and turn it into drama.
yeah.
Turn it into a big old exclamation point.
Yeah.
But then I do think that Lisa, and this is kind of predictions, but I think Lisa's going to end up on the Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes,
That's my
we have
secret
made that
piece of
prediction
gossip.
on the Real
Yes.
Housewives of Beverly Hills after show. It was a couple episodes ago. There was a party at Kyle Richards' house, and Lisa was a guest, and she was really trying to get on camera. She was really trying
yeah.
to
I saw
insert herself
that.
in the
She was
conversation.
trying to elbow her way in.
Yeah,
That's her husband, because her husband wants to be the mayor of Beverly Hills, so he's like pushing
Oh,
her.
really?
Because she's his show pony.
I love her. I think she's gonna go far. That girl has class. She's so smart. She's
a winner.
Yeah.
So would you start watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills regularly? if
Oh,
Lisa was a
yes.
cast member?
For sure.
Do you think though that she's a fave of Donald?
I think so.
Oh yeah, Hollywood royalty. Yeah, he will not be.
Because then she'll be good. That's all that matters.
She's good looking too, so he likes the.
Yeah, she's like the
good-looking girls.
traditional beauty. She was a beauty queen as
Yeah.
well, so he loves those beauty queens.
Yeah. Okay, then she's safe then, as long as he's on her side.
Yeah. And for some weird reason, he's on Geraldo's side, and he's just gotta go. I want to like pull his mustache off.
No, but they keep talking about the billionaire friends of Geraldo, and we all know Trump's a billionaire. So there's some friend who's gone, dude,
He's a good
keep it
one.
in the family.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep it in the
Yeah.
family.
Oh, they're in the same circle for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and hey, would Trump be like any kind of underhandedness?
Come on. I just want
Sure,
Trump.
he wants to be the POTUS.
I want Trump to be like, Raldo, you have not fought in any war.
I know.
You're not a survivor. Okay?
He's been shot at. He's been knifed, I think was the exact phrase he used on last night's episode.
He said, I've been a survivor 17 times in Iraq, 11 times in Afghanistan. It's like, oh, what? You got a hangnail?
I know. That's such an insult to people who actually fought in Afghanistan.
Yeah, completely.
Like,
Don't mess with the
multiple
vets.
tours, you know?
Trump calls everyone out. Come on, it's time to call out on him.
Yeah, you're right. It's coming.
I don't know if it's gonna happen.
Glasses. Why is he so obnoxious?
Oh,
Yeah.
with the glasses. Yeah, that's such a different time,
Right?
That's like Whoopi Goldberg and all. It's such a different time. I don't get the glasses.
And speaking of glasses, were Terrell Owens' glasses like poked out, no lenses?
Yeah, was he doing a
was
Justin
up with
Bieber,
that?
the lensless glasses?
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
okay with that.
I don't know.
He does. I think he does consider himself a pretty trendy guy. That T.O.
I think
He probably thinks the glasses make him look more professional.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the series is in trouble if we're talking about the lensless glasses.
So we're all going to
got a
bring in
great
fake
point
glasses
there.
next episode.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I have fake glasses, but they have the glasses. I'll just pop them out for you. We'll be
Yeah.
good. Yeah, no, I think that the show is kind of in trouble. The way they're burning it off. We can speak to the ratings, which we did earlier, that it seemed to be quite okay, but we'll see what moves on with this.
Once
I
Kevin
don't know.
Jonas is off, we'll see.
Yeah, I think they're definitely burning the show off, and they'll just, it's an old show.
It's a dump and run.
You know what's missing for me is I always loved seeing Ivanka and even Donald Trump's son, Donald Trump's relationship with them, and just how they're both very young and intelligent, and just I'm always so blown away by Ivanka. I think even looking at the other women on this show, people in America look up to reality stars, and little girls look up to these obnoxious women whose job it is just to fight each other, and there's no really emphasis placed on education or poise in this
Yeah.
country.
Oh, yeah.
And Ivanka is probably the most educated, poised woman on a reality show. I think that's who everybody should all be tuning in and saying, all right, little girls, this is who you should look up
But then
to.
when you
Great
look at the
point.
beauty pageants, which Donald Trump runs, it's
Right.
like 99% swimsuit and running around in dresses, and 60 seconds spent answering a question. So we need to change there, Mr. Trump. Give some girls some better questions and better time on the stage proving their intellect than running around in bikinis.
That's true. They couldn't accept
That's my
me.
political statement.
And the
Yeah.
girls just keep getting, the winners just keep getting
Oh, yeah. But now they just get liposucked.
Yeah. That's a great point about
No, they
Ivanka,
do.
though.
They
It really is. I mean, there's no emphasis on that. And she is such a classy lady, and she transcends all different age groups, too. The old, like, my grandmother likes her, my mother likes her, I enjoy her.
Yeah.
She's great. But I don't know what the future is for her on the show, you know?
Oh, yeah, like when The Apprentice finally does go away, are we ever going to see her anymore?
Yeah.
She
Oh,
does
I think she'll stay
fantastic
around.
shoe line.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
on
very
television. I mean, like,
successful.
in people's living rooms. But, yeah.
Right.
Does she need to? Isn't she like a billionaire herself?
Well, that's another reason why I respect her so much, is because she could sit around on the couch and eat
Yeah.
the bonbons,
Yeah.
and her husband is very successful as well, and she does have 2 kids at home, and she chooses not to.
How old is she?
Like mid-30s.
She's beautiful.
She's someone that I look up to, and I think a lot of people do look up to her.
Yeah. And she held her own in a show in which she was the daughter and she could have kind of been brushed aside, but she consistently held her own.
Perhaps maybe the only woman in the world that Donald Trump truly respects.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's a claim for you.
Them's fighting words.
So speaking of that, should we do predictions?
Oh.
And
Ooh, I
now,
love this.
your AfterBuzz TV.
Predictions. All right, guys. Who do you think's going home next week soon?
I said Lorenzo for these two, or for this
Trump wants
episode.
him gone, yeah.
I think Lorenzo's going, and I have to say Sean on the
Yeah.
girls' side. Either Sean or Jamie. I think more Sean, though.
I'm going to pick it until they send Geraldo home, even though it's already shot. We know it's already shot, so anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see Geraldo, but I agree with
Lisa's
you.
staying for sure. Love that girl. And I think Brandy. I think Brandy's in too for a while. Mm-hmm. For the guy's side, I don't know. I was Team Kevin. I think Ian might stay in.
Oh yeah. Oh
he's-
yeah.
I like
Stand up
him.
tonight.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
It looked to me like at least one of the episodes is a mix where they put the guys and girls together. So maybe that means another loss for the men's team. So to balance it out, they shuffle them in.
Oh, yeah.
So that was just kind of something I picked up on. But who knows? We'll wait and see.
And it's time for that to happen. That's my prediction. They're going to mix up the teams, and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I do have a little bit of news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV
Will
News.
that affect Alexis? So Kevin is writing a blog for NBC about the show, and he actually, I think I referred to him as this yesterday, but he refers to himself as the voice of reason on this show. He has taken that role on, and he says that he saw Geraldo as his biggest threat immediately. He identified Geraldo as the strongest player.
Wow.
As would I. I would do the same, yeah.
Yeah, so that's maybe why he was really gunning for him yesterday. Keisha Knight-Pulliam, who was eliminated on last night's episode, was on the Today Show this morning. And she didn't say a whole lot, kind of more of what she had said last night, but they asked her specifically about Bill Cosby. And she said such interesting things. She was so diplomatic, and she didn't say anything bad, but she didn't say anything good. She said that all I can speak to is the man I know and love, that he has set such an example, and you cannot take away from all the great he's done, giving millions to education, and that she, quote, I wasn't there as far as the allegations. So she kept it classy. She defended him a little bit more than I even thought she was going to. It seemed like last night we were maybe picking up on that maybe there was a bad relationship between she and Mr. Cosby, but she really kind of defended him.
But, you know, she did mention that he gives back a lot. And so if he does give back a lot, you would have thought that, okay, he likes to give back. This is for a charity event. So when she said that, I was kind of like, wouldn't you put those two together? You know, he likes to give back, and this is a charity fundraising event.
But had she won, the money would have gone to her charity, which is about empowering young women. I'm not sure they want an alleged rapist's money.
And I think, you know, didn't our mothers always say if you have nothing good to say, then don't say anything at all? And I really do think that her lack of statements, I think it's very controlled, and she's limited what she said. We know there's water under that bridge. We know. She doesn't want to be a part of it. Good on her.
Yeah.
It was, she was, what she said was great.
We talked last night about how she was probably getting residual checks from the Cosby Show still being on. So she doesn't really want to do anything to add to the PR of Cosby not being a good example, I suppose. And one last little thing, apparently there were some reports online that Kenya would be cut from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And now sources are saying that is absolutely not true, not going to happen. So even if she is cut from the Celebrity Apprentice, you will still see her on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Well, one quick thing to add to that, I read on Twitter that someone was like, oh, you should do another reality show. And she said, no, I'm pretty good with reality shows, but I would do Dancing with the Stars.
Oh.
So she put that out in the universe, but she claims she's over reality TV.
Has only Sean, the Olympian, has been on Dancing with the Stars, but I think she's
she won
the
it.
only one of this cast, right?
Oh, good for her. I didn't know that. I didn't watch that.
I thought Kate did it. Kate did it and was
Kate did it
terrible.
as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Yeah, she was terrible.
That could happen.
That was enjoyable. That was actually entertaining.
That could happen, and we will maybe be here to talk about that when and if it does happen. In the meantime, make sure that you tweet us all your opinion on this show. We want to know, do you think that they're rushing through it as well? What's your guys' opinion? Let everybody know where to talk to you guys.
And let us know whose team you're on. We said ours. We want to know your guys' team.
Don't let us do all the talking, people. Where should they tweet you, Jessica?
You can tweet me at DressJessXO.
I'm at AJAY Rochester.
And I'm at Grants__rants.
And you can find me at Christy Reports. Don't forget also to rate us on iTunes. We love that. And you know what? If you do that, tweet me and tell me that you gave us a 5-star rating. I will retweet you. I love to retweet. Let us know how you guys are engaging with us. We want to see it. We want to interact with you.
Yes.
And thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you back next Monday.
Yes, we will see you Monday. Thank you so much, guys. This was fun.
Yeah.
And
So
We're
lovely.
out.
Celebrity Apprentice next time. Fingers crossed it's a little more exciting.
Yes.
See you then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.